All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. In this one, we're going over my entire gun collection. It's quite unimpressive in my opinion, but it is just comprehensive enough to where I feel comfortable, equipped, and not really desiring all that much more. But we're gonna walk you through what's in my gun safe, what's in the nightstand safe, and what I usually carry. Briefly, I'm not gonna really go too in depth about any particular build or gun that I have on hand. But yeah, before we dive in, I do want to thank Nautilus Ammunition. They are an American-owned company where all of the ammunition is made here in America, which is something that I certainly value and appreciate. And they do so at a high level of quality while keeping that price for the consumer as low as possible. They offer 9mm and 223, and their ammunition is generally $3 to $5 cheaper per box when you compare it to some competitors. They also have a subscription service with ammunition, and free shipping comes along with that. And they're just a great, high quality, yet affordable ammunition company that I'm very excited to be working with. If you guys are curious about Nautilus Ammunition and you would like to go purchase some of their ammo, you can use code Marksman5 and save 5% off of any order over $100. So yeah, let's get to the meat of the video. So in a previous video, I did say that my Springfield Prodigy was not my go-to carry gun. And here she is. And that rather my Glock was. But things have kind of changed. I've been able to put more rounds through the Prodigy, and especially now that I'm sponsored by Nautilus Ammunition, I'll be able to put even more rounds downrange, further vetting the reliability, but I'm confident in its ability to go bang when I pull the trigger, and as long as I feed it with good quality ammunition, it is not going to have any problems, and especially because I switched out the magazines for staccato mags. I'm going to do a reliability update on the Prodigy as a later video, but currently it is my favorite gun to carry in the Tier 1 concealed sidecar style holster. Now let's take a look in the safe. And I do normally keep that gun in the safe when I am home. I don't generally carry when I'm home, but sometimes I do make an exception to that. Here on the side of, okay, let me tell you about the safe. First off, the safe is a Sports Afield, just very small gun safe. And my grandfather bought this safe for me, and it's nothing too crazy. It's allegedly fireproof, but maybe not. So on the side of the door, I've put adhesive industrial strength Velcro on, and then I have some 3 Velcro holsters. In one of them, I've got my SIG P365 build that I just did a video on, and I will link that above. I'll download my Springfield Prodigy into the safe. Got some magazines beneath the pistols, and then let's take a look in the main door area. Could use some organization. I keep sensitive documents up above, locked up, safe. Keep ammunition next to the documents. This here is my G-Force GF1 shotgun. I have never done a video on this, but I have had this gun for a long time. It is a 20-inch barrel, I believe, and it has a tube extension. It's a super cheap semi-automatic shotgun, like I think 300 bucks I got it for. Did a couple of upgrades, so I did the tube extension. I said I wasn't going to talk about mods in this video, and here I go. I can't help myself. So in it, I carry Fiocchi Home Defense buckshot, and I've got, 5 rounds in the tube, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the shotgun card. And I have shot this gun a whole 2 times, but I've owned it for more than a year. Mostly because it's a pain in the ass to bring to the range because I don't have a bag big enough. Also, you can't shoot anything but slugs at the range, which are expensive, and I just don't feel like shooting 12 gauge all that often. So I hope to shoot it more outside, and that should be fun to keep testing. This is kind of my prized rifle, the 223-556 build. It's got a suppressor on it, 12.5-inch barrel from Palmetto State Armory, kind of Frankenstein with different parts. Here is my 300 Blackout, kind of bare bones right now in a very truck gunnable configuration. And yeah, that's everything in the safe. Let's take you to the nightstand. And here is my nightstand. In it, I've got my Glock 19 with a Streamlight TLR1 HL high lumens ready for defending me at night. And it has iron sights. So Nothing too crazy there. So because I don't want this video to be like 2.5 minutes long and be just showing you my gun safe and checking out, we are going to talk about, do you need a gun safe? And I think there are some considerations that you have to go through and run down when thinking about, is this going to be a necessity for you? One thing to maybe keep in mind is, do you rent or do you own? And essentially what that gets down to is, are there other people who are authorized to enter your living quarters? So if you own your house, contractors, repairmen, property managers don't have unauthorized access into your unit. So for me, I do rent, I do live in an apartment, and knowing that other people have the keys to my room, I do want to keep guns locked up and at least have an extra layer of security for that matter. Another consideration to think about is, do you have a family or is it just you? Do you have a spouse? Is she comfortable around firearms, or he or they? No, I'm not going to do that. Is he or she comfortable around firearms? Do they know the universal firearm safety rules so that if there is a gun lying around, they're not going to be stressed out about it, concerned? They're going to know how to handle it properly and safely. That's a huge consideration. I think even if you do have a safe and you do have a partner, there are lots of good reasons to include them in training and knowledge about firearm safety and proper handling of a firearm, even if you do have a safe. So don't use that as a crutch to keep your partner or your spouse kind of in the dark in terms of how to safely handle a firearm, because they themselves may benefit one day from using that. If you've got kids, then it might be a no-brainer to have some way to lock up guns and or ammunition. I'm not at that journey and that path in life yet, but I still do find peace and comfort in having a gun safe. We do like to host people, and we do like to involve alcohol when we're hosting, so having open guns everywhere, lying around, ammunition everywhere, is not something that I think is very safe and appropriate for me to be doing. So just consider the amount of people who are going to be coming in and out of your space, whether that's a home or apartment. If you have an immediate family that's going to be there at all times, you're not always going to be home. So unless you only have one firearm, and that's the gun that you carry everywhere and you never take that off, you still have to sleep. So where is that going to go? You could put a cable lock in it, throw it in a box, put it in your closet, whatever. And I think that's much more manageable for one handgun. If you've got rifles and shotguns and different handguns for different, carrying scenarios in the mix, it gets a lot more complicated and the risk is greater. The level of resistance that you'll likely have towards not wanting to unlock and lock up cable-wise every gun that you want to use, especially if you have a range day and you want to bring all your toys. I think that could be a good selling point for, hey, maybe just drop, I think this one was like $200, $300 at Fleet Farm. Just drop a couple $100 on a safe that's gonna lock. And if you want to go ahead and, do the most, get $1,000, $2,000 gun safe that looks like it's straight out of John Wick, then you can go ahead and do that too and sleep easy and knowing that what's stored inside is safe, locked up, and probably fireproof. But all in all, I would certainly recommend a gun safe for most people, especially if you have roommates. That's one thing we didn't touch on. Be accountable for what's yours and for what's yours that might fall into the hands of others. The more that we can limit the level of risk that being a firearm owner comes with, the more that we can take advantage of the actual benefits that being a firearm owner comes with. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comment section below, or if there are any ways that you guys are doing things differently that you found that have worked for you and or your family. Thank you so much to Nautilus Ammunition again for sponsoring this video, and we will see you guys in the next video.